Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Second Chances, episode 26 now, as our party continues to dive into the ruins of Shattengrad. But before we get to that, let's start with our usual thank yous. And we're going to start with Critical Role, whose beautiful, wonderful world created by Matt Mercer, the cast, and a bunch of other creatives as well. We are specifically using the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, but who knows where we may go in the future, so thank you to Critical Role. And also to Reliquary Records, whose music you will hear throughout the show tonight. So thank you, Reliquary. People in the chat, let me know how the music sounds, if it's too loud, if it's too low, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, we don't currently have Leaf or Kieran with us today, but hopefully Kieran will be here before too long. So, to begin, a bit of a recap. The Second Chances have been in pursuit of a thief that has stolen a magical artifact called the Heart of Icarus. They followed them to the town of Eurosa and then to the ruins of Shattengrad, a pre-calamity floating mage city that has been under the ground for several centuries now. They did meet up with the brother of the thief, who is also trying to stop his brother after committing a crime. And they have gone down into the ruins together, along with Zana, the 7th member of the Oracle's Chosen. Well, down here, they have had to fight off ropers. They have ran into magical constructs that were once used to defend against some of the most powerful mages history has ever seen, during which Kieran had suffered a fatal blow and went down, reverting back to his changeling shape. Leaf was able to get Kieran back up, and the battle was finished. And Kieran is now in a state, we'll say, as he tries to sort of piece together what this means for him and how he's supposed to act now. Him and Kieran had some words that were exchanged during the watch that ended with him trying to run away, upset and crying, but Hermia took him by the shoulders and pulled him into a hug, and that where we ended the last session. So, where we will pick up, your long rest has completed, so everyone can go ahead and complete that long rest now. I don't think anybody's used any hit dice, but if you did, remember you only get back half of your total hit dice, but everything else is
Speak for yourself, I had.
But everything else is back to full, and you are now in this long, winding staircase that just keeps going down, 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 down.
Rosalind stands up and cracks her neck oh, sleeping on stairs is awful.
Yeah, it's a little more jagged than the ground of a forest, I suppose.
Oh.
Can I go up the stairs and see if the constructs woke up or moved at all while we were down here?
Would you like to?
Just peek my head out, yeah.
Sure.
That's intimidating.
Sure, go ahead and actually,
Go down
first thing I need everybody to do is go ahead and make a wisdom save as you're waking back up.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
A wisdom save, you say?
Oh, not usually good at those. 17.
I'm rolling for Kieran, right?
Yes, please. Let me know what you roll for
9.
Kieran first.
Sorry, 12.
Kieran got an 18.
All right. Kieran saved from her fear the day before.
That's
Clay is still fearful down here for the just a sort of overwhelming sense of dread. Oh, I guess I gotta do Leaf too. I think Leaf failed it as well.
Oh, jeez. He's got a high wisdom, doesn't he?
I hope so.
Oh, I have advantage on wisdom saves. Thank you, Kalishar. Oh, nice, 23.
Good, because you'd have failed it otherwise.
And I got a 16.
Thank you, Kalishar.
So 18 for
Yes.
Leo.
Okay. So 18 for Leo. What did Kieran roll?
18 on the die.
Okay, so... Alright, so only Clay is currently still afraid from the lingering effects of something or another. Maeve, you get to roll for Leaf.
I get to roll for Leaf.
Yep, I rolled this
man.
time, but just for future things. Whenever something happens, I'm gonna you
Okay.
be the,
You
be
got
the
it.
person rolling.
Got it.
All right.
You'll have to take my normal dice.
So, Leo, yes, go ahead and make a stealth check as you head back up to the top of the stairs to take a look in.
An 11 plus 8.
So 19.
Yep.
All right, so you sneak your way back up to the top of the stairs. The doorway, so the opening in the ground that took you down, is still open. And as you peek up in, everything still seems to be in a sort of low power mode. All of the golems are still exactly as they were when you left. One of them holding an invisible Leo above his head. Another one with his arms outstretched. Don't seem to have moved or powered on at all. Hermia and Raz, you both get inspiration from Malkyria.
Oh,
Oh, thank you.
thank you, Mal.
Are they big enough to come down the stairs?
They are not.
Is there a rock near me?
Not in here.
What are you
nope.
doing?
Why
Okay,
we
then.
gotta wake? Why we gotta wake him up?
They won't follow us, so I'll just go back down to the party.
All right.
Nothing's moved. We should be fine.
That's good. Should maybe make for an easier way back out of here then when we eventually have to go back up through all of this again. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, we'll just run through that part. I'm not going to
Yeah.
touch anything that time.
Yeah, good call. All right. Everyone, everything okay on watch? Anyone see anything weird?
No, not on my watch.
Zana shakes her head no.
Okay, great. Well then, onward and downward, I suppose. And she'll start making her way down the stairs.
All right. As you all descend down this spiral staircase, it takes quite a bit of time. You're not sure exactly how long, as in the dark here, how to measure time is a bit beyond you. But what you do start to notice after about maybe an hour's worth of walking down is terrain, the sort of center of this staircase, begins to slowly shift. You notice this at about the same time as you realize that a lot of the walls and the structural integrity of parts of this staircase begin to have large, jagged cracks, where it seems like either the shifting of the earth, or perhaps when the city originally fell, or over the hundreds of years as it slowly began to sink more and more and more into the crust of Exandria, pieces of this stairway and the surrounding earth sort of crack, shift, and move. And the further you go down, it begins to slowly go from just being a straight staircase up and down to slowly shifting more and more on its side, to where after about 10 minutes, it suddenly shifts very quickly, and you're no longer walking down the staircase, so to speak, but the staircase is almost on its side, and making your way through the rest of this requires quite a bit of athleticism and teamwork between everyone to kind of have to like go up and over, as this tunnel has now become more of like a twisting cavern. So I would like everyone to go ahead and make athletics checks for me.
All right. I'm going to use my channel divinity to get good old peerless athlete. Next time it's advantage on strength, athletics, and dexterity acrobatics checks.
Okay.
And plus I can push, carry, drag, and lift twice as much weight as normal. So if I need to carry someone, I can.
All right. They'll let me know what Kieran rolled. You can just type in the chat.
Just drop that in.
Wait, what are we rolling?
Athletics.
Athletics.
I wish I had just taken Leaf's roll, but that's fine.
A super hard check.
Got
Can
a
I
15.
argue that I could use acrobatics?
Nope. Nope, because this is sustained, like 10, 15 minutes of having to sort of climb up and then back down, then climb up and then back down this staircase that just seems to be sort of like a spiral pattern going forward.
But I can't argue that I'm
goes.
just like front flipping overall. No.
No,
You want to
it's-
parkour it?
It's a little bit too much of a confined space for that, especially with all your other party members. But don't worry,
Yes.
everyone passed. The DC was only 10, so Maeve just made it in there.
She's
it's
not doing her
definitely-
legs are not feeling good.
Yeah,
No.
it's definitely a very tiring affair, but you are eventually brought to a halt. As Roz, I assume you're in front, right?
She's just wheezing in the back.
Glance at you all right back there, Maeve?
Fine.
Make a perception check. Hermia, you have dancing lights, don't you?
Yeah.
I assume, are you using the dancing lights while you're down here?
Yeah, if it's dark.
Yeah, there's no light source whatsoever. So go ahead and make a perception check for me, Roz.
17.
Okay, 17 is enough.
Pretty good for me.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So you have one of Hermia's dancing lights is kind of floating just a little ways ahead of you. And it doesn't shine light very far, but what catches your attention just in time is the light that it's immediately putting on the wall to the left and right of you suddenly vanishes as it floats out over a wide open chasm, and you notice just in time to stop 5 inches from the edge of this.
Roz comes to a hard stop and puts her arms out. Hold.
Okay.
She kind of glances over the edge. That is a long way down.
Yes. I believe the dancing lights go out to about, it's like 10 feet, or 10 regular light or bright light, and then like 10 dim light. Does that sound about right?
Sounds right. I don't have a spell, but
That is.
It is, they each grant, each light sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius.
Okay, so yeah. So, and they can go out 60. No, range is 100.
120.
Okay, so
You can move
Hermia,
them 60 feet a turn.
Yeah.
So you come up and you begin to send your lights out, just in different directions. How far you can see what they're. And as they get about 120 feet out, you just see on the opposite side of this chasm what looks to be. Honeycomb isn't quite right, but you see what could be the other half, another section of the city, and you see floors from about as far up as you can send your dancing light, and then as you run it down the opposite side of this chasm, you just see floor after floor after floor after floor after floor, as far down as you can send it. It's about 120 feet across the other side. As you look down on your side, like where you are, sheer cliff face walls to the left, right, up. Looking down about 50 feet, you start to see those same rows of floors of something. You have no idea what they are, but it seems as though a piece of the city was sheared in half and lodged here in between it, and whether it landed like this or through the seismic activity over the course of 100 years has slowly been building this rift between this side.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
This is to all of you. This is what
I know,
you've been
it's-
presented with now.
all right. Well, we need to, I guess, find a way to get down onto those rows.
Yeah. How far down are those?
The ones below you, 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay. So rope. We could climb down.
I have a climbing kit to help us 25 feet
I
at
do
a
too.
time.
Okay. Then I say we start climbing our way down. I can probably carry one of you.
I think it would be better if we didn't carry people.
Roz shrugs. If you say so.
All right. So between both your climbing kit, you said it's good for like 25 feet of climbing.
It says like it's basically the So what it says is you can use the climber's kit as an action to anchor yourself. When you do, you can't fall more than 25 feet from the point where you anchored yourself.
Gotcha.
You climb
Okay.
more than 25 feet away from the point without undoing the anchor. So-
Okay, so between your climbing kit and Hermia's climbing kit, you are able to secure a rope up here, which otherwise it would have been very difficult to do since there's nothing here to really secure it on. And because of your climbing kits, and I'm sure many of you have rope, you
Yes.
should also be able to climb down and make it into that area. So, if you want to make it so that everybody is able to use it, you will be able to do that, but it's going to take time, as you will need only 2 people would be able to go at a time. And if you wanted to bring down all of your stuff with you and like have the climbing kit for the other side as well, someone will probably have to climb down without the use of the climbing kit.
Roz can climb down without it.
Okay.
She kind of nods. All right. Those of you who are not so athletically inclined, we'll let you take the climbing kits down. Because
I will go first, and Zana steps forward. Everyone will get to make this check with advantage because of the use of the climbing kit.
That's good. Also,
makes
Kieran
it
is
down.
here.
Welcome, Kieran. Clay will go next, just to get the NPCs out of the way. Ooh, natural
You are
20.
muted.
Clay knows how to
Nice.
climb. So Zana and Clay are able to make it down just fine. Let's do Leaf next. Maeve.
So he
Roll
rolls with advantage.
2d20s, and this is another athletics check. Yep.
Okay, hold on. Well, he's gonna want the 13.
Plus 0. Able to make it. He goes a little bit slower and seems a bit weary climbing down, with this rope sort of around him. But he's able to make it, no problem. Going next.
I got an 11
What's your athletic score?
plus 0.
Plus
I'm
0.
dead, aren't I?
So,
No,
as
survive a 60-foot fall.
60 feet to where the floors start, the chasm descends even further than that. So as Hermia begins to go, she starts to kind of go at a pretty brisk pace at first, and the rope up near, there's a little spider under. As she starts to go, obviously Rosalind, you're up there kind of holding the rope and kind of monitoring the situation. And as it's kind of straining against the side of this cliff here, part of the stairs begins to crack and break off, and that one little chunk of rock falls down and on the shoulder, startling her a bit, and she kind of loses her grip a bit and starts to not fall, but goes a little bit faster than what she wants to, with the rope kind of burning through her gloves. And just as you're about to hit the end of it, Hermia, and think that you're about to go over the edge, Zana reaches out and grabs your arm with her own, pulls you back up into the sort of first floor.
I'm alive!
For now, it
You're
will
okay.
seem, and she kind of helps you take the rope off and let's pull it back off. Kieran, with your 15, you make it down just fine. Same with Leo.
I will go next.
What? I didn't even roll yet.
What was your 14
Oh,
minus
good.
1?
That was earlier.
earlier.
Oh, okay. Then Leo, go ahead and make a roll as well. Athletics.
I rolled 21 when it's my turn.
All right. Maeve is able to make it down, no problem.
Natural 20 minus 1.
As is Leo. So I believe that leaves just
Me.
Roz, without the safety of now. You didn't need both the climbing kits to do this. You only needed to use, we'll say, Maeve, so Hermia still has hers. So
Right.
it's up to you if you want to bring the climbing kit down with you, which is your safety, or if you want to leave it here.
No, she'll bring it down.
All right, in that case, make an athletics check, straight roll.
I'm gonna brace to try to catch her.
Yeah.
That's going to be an unpleasant catch. She's a big lady.
Then I'll help too.
I still have my Peerless Athlete on.
How long does it last?
10 minutes.
No, it would have went away
No?
because it's
Okay.
probably taken about an hour for you guys to go down, sort of one by one by one.
Okay. Then we will we'll spend an inspo.
Just use the inspo for now.
I refuse to let Rosalind get rocked on a fucking athletics check of all things.
I know. Oh god.
All right. My addition is 6, so that'll be 21.
Okay.
All right. So packing everything up, you don't really have the use of a rope here, and you are basically just scaling this cliff, essentially, down towards them. But with a 21, it takes you some time, and there is a few close calls where you don't quite get a grip where you want to, or where you place your foot, a stone comes loose and clatters down, and you hear occasionally Hermia, "Oh my god, she's gonna die!" But
Don't scream.
after about 15-20 minutes of taking it slow and taking your time, you are able to get down into the next level. It is safely with you now, and you can see if Hermia sends her sort of lights out and back in. It seems the further down this chasm you go, the two sides are slowly getting closer and closer and closer to one another.
Nice work.
Rosalind nods. Are we all good?
I think we're all standing, and none of us fell off a chasm, so I count that as a success.
Take your wins where you can get them.
Technically, Clay should have been a straight roll. Oh well.
Next.
All right. Well then, let's continue. She kind of glances back at the cliff face again, like, "Oh, getting back up, that is going to be horrible."
Yeah, we'll need to figure that out before. We'll figure that out when we get back around. How
All
about
right.
that?
Well, I mean, I can scale it and throw a rope down, but yeah, it's gonna be rough. So I guess we'll continue onward.
So as you all sort of take in your surroundings down here and looking around, the area you're in now seems to resemble some sort of barracks or office chambers. You see, a few desks. You see what were probably bed spaces, bunk spaces, lockers here as well. There's one door out. So I assume you want to go that way instead of just jumping down from floor to floor to floor.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
As you head out into the hallway, I need someone who isn't Maeve or Roz.
Oh, right. I was like, what do we do?
You want to do that, Kieran?
Sure, why not?
Roll a d10, Kira.
The D10.
It's only going to determine the fate of what we face.
Oh, we love it. An 8.
Oh no. Usually more is bad.
Oh no.
Depends on
I
the
thought
rules.
higher was
Just
better.
fireball appears.
All right, so you head out
We
into
had
the
enough of
hallway.
fire tonight.
You head out into this hallway and looking sort of up and down it. Again, pitch black down here. So Hermia has her dancing lights out. If anybody wants to have any sort of torches out, those as well.
I have the light spell.
The light spell works as well. And you
So-
begin to follow this hallway down. Some of the doors are cracked open, some of them shut, some of them have been, it seems, ripped off of their hinges. But taking a look into each of the rooms as you pass sort of gives you a lot of the same. Barracks of some sort, offices, storage, things like that. And I assume, really quick, let me double check on the marching order. Roz, Maeve, Hermia, Clay, Kieran, Leaf, Leo, Zana, all sounds good?
Yep.
Zana and Leo, as the two of you are walking from behind, hear what sounds like a gust of wind. Like something's moving past behind you. Nope. Pitter patter. But as you turn to try and look, make a perception check. It's a disadvantage because changelings don't have dark sight, which is the stupidest thing ever.
Spend an inspiration for advantage.
Dirty 20 on it though.
Nice.
18 8.
Both of you seem to look back at the same time, and she's like, see that? And not sure what you saw. It's difficult looking back in the dark, but both of you acknowledge that something's going on, that something's here. And as you begin to divert your attention back up towards the party, you notice shadows moving in between, room to room across the hall, and right under the legs of you, almost. And right as you begin to shout out that something's here, the shadows seem to descend all around you. You see these little beady yellow eyes open up, fangs being bared. All of you now hear these loud screeches as these fiends of some sort, you're not sure what they are, demonic, fiendish, but all of these small little creatures, gremlin size, begin to pour out of some of the rooms and begin to jump and attack at all of you. We're going to run a quick, brief encounter here. So, going down the list, you guys are going to tell me if you want to do a offensive action, defensive action, or, offensive action, support action, or strategy. Now, just to remind you how this works really quickly, strategy action is going to, if you succeed, reduce the difficulty checks of everybody else in the group, so potentially making it easier to complete this. An offensive action will help you finish the battle faster, so you potentially take less damage. And a support action will help to mitigate a set amount of damage at the end of this encounter. So, we will start with Roz.
Okay. Roz will use a support action.
Okay. And how is she supporting the party? Remember, if you use some sort of ability, be it a spell slot or an item, something that is a finite resource, it could either reduce the difficulty or give you advantage.
She's going to use a spell slot.
Okay.
Which is going to be representative of Shield of Faith, effectively. But she is basically going to try and get loud and move around and try and get the attention of as many of them as she can and try and get them to kind of cluster around her.
Okay. All right, so I would like you to go ahead and roll a d20 and add your proficiency bonus.
Can do. Nice. 22.
Maeve.
I will take an offensive action. Well, I'm assuming this is offensive action. I'm basically going to be trying to command Luster to get after these things.
Sure. All right, go ahead and roll a d20, add your proficiency.
Ooh, 21.
Very good.
Better than last time.
Hermia, what would you like to do?
Taking advantage of Roz like being all crazy, just like sneak up, or not sneak up, but just like attack them and hopefully catch like them all like unaware.
Yep. All right, go ahead and d20 plus your proficiency.
Okay. Hold on. Thinking of it. Okay. Proficiency is 3. That is an 18.
Okay. Clay will take a strategy action and so try to direct people, call out where these things are coming from, make sure that nobody's being snuck up by any of these. Kieran, what would you like to do? How would you like to contribute to this battle?
I think I want to do a support action.
All right, and how does Kieran support?
And I'm choosing a skill, yeah? Or like I can use a spell or something?
Yes, if you use some sort of resource that's finite, like using a cantrip, that's just kind of adding flavor to it. But if you want to use like a spell slot or like, you have a potion that you're going to feed to somebody if they get hurt.
Okay. Um. I'm going to. I think I'm going to like this sounds offensive, but like Eldritch Blast, or would that be more offensive as an action?
I mean, normally something that would probably be an offensive action, but however you want to try and use it, it's up to you how you kind of flavor it.
Yeah, I think I think I might, I don't know, aim at some rocks or stalactites.
Okay, so there's no stalactites down here. However, you're pretty sure that being that these are ruins, some of the wall or even the ceiling may be a bit looser, and instead of straight up blasting at things, seeing that so many of them are coming towards Rosalind, you decide you're going to try and use your magic in more of like a support fashion to try and bring some debris down around the monsters. That's fine. Go ahead and roll a d20, add your proficiency.
Just proficiency, or like I'm
Yeah.
doing Eldritch Blast.
Yep,
Okay.
D20
Proficiency.
proficiency.
So just +3.
That's a natural 20.
Woo! Net 20, baby!
All right, Leaf kind of falls back and is going to just ready some healing magic so that he can support anybody who's been hurt. So go ahead, Maeve, and roll a d20 and add 3 to it.
I'm sorry, Leaf. Yeah, that's gonna be a 6.
6. So did you roll a 3 or did you roll a 6?
I rolled a 3.
Rolled a 3.
Yeah. Sorry. Leaf.
Oh, wait, sorry. He's using a spell, so he gets advantage. Go ahead and roll a 1.
Yeah! That's a little better. That was an 11, so +3 be 14.
All right. Leo, what are you doing?
Would like laying? How many monsters are there?
Lots. This is like, you're not really sure the nature of these monsters, but it is a swarm of them.
How even is the floor, and where is it tilted?
It's kind of tilted a little bit in the direction you're walking, not at a very steep degree, though.
Okay, I have 1,000 ball bearings.
Okay, I will tell you these things are like running on the walls and on the ceilings as well, so I'm not
okay,
sure.
So I don't have wall ball bearings.
Yeah,
So-
plus this could also be detrimental to your group as well.
Yeah, I was figuring it was going to be, but if they were all on the ground, I would do it. If they were. If not, I might just do a strategy action to use my bonus action Master of Tactics to give everybody advantage that I can.
Okay.
So like coming up and like helping them finish off whatever.
All right, so yeah, you're kind of doing the same thing that Clay is in and just kind of crawling out to people since it's dark, it's cramped, making sure that nobody's hitting each other, running into each other. Go ahead and... is that a limited use thing, or you can use your bonus action to do that anytime you want?
I can use my bonus action anytime.
Yep,
to
that's
use
what I thought. All right, so
so
go ahead and roll a d20, add your proficiency to it.
It's 15 plus 3, so 18.
All right, well, good news is that nobody failed this. So, as these shadowling things begin to come out, Roz, immediately realizing that everyone's about to be overwhelmed, casts Shield of Faith on herself, which sends off a shining beacon, lighting up this entire hallway even more than it had already done, which seems to do the job and gets the attention of all of these things as they begin to scurry in towards her. Maeve, Hermia, and Zana all begin to take aim. Hermia slashing through with her sword, which as you cut through these things, they seem to... You notice it as Luster kind of like lets a breath of lightning down the edge of the wall, just taking a bunch of them out. They kind of disperse and explode almost into like an ash as they fall to the ground. But as you cut through them, they get sucked into your sword, it seems like, leaving no trace of them behind. Zana's taking out a dagger, not wanting to use her gun in close quarters here, and is cutting down as many of them as she can, with both Clay and Leo attempting to kind of call things out, make sure people are watching out for each other, not getting any of these things caught up on them. Kieran, you manage to find a few weak points in the ceiling that drop rocks down, crushing loads of them at a time as these things are beginning to crawl up Roz and starting to overwhelm her. And Leaf in the back is letting off a few healing spells here and there, which is also keeping Roz up on her feet. And you are able to make very easy work of this situation. It lasts only a single round. We had 2 support actions. Change a bit of the rules here. Just quick. All right, so everyone is going to roll a single hit dice, and you are going to reduce that damage by, or you're going to subtract from that damage twice your Constitution modifier, and then take anything that's left over. If it's negative, you take no damage.
Oh, I would roll a 10.
I rolled a 5, so minus twice the Constitution modifier, so I only took 1 damage.
I only took 2.
Wait, can't find my dice.
Fighters are...
Yes, we're Rangers.
Yeah, I think only barbarians are D12.
Yeah, Rangers are also D10s,
Yeah, so it's
which
paladin.
which always surprises me.
I got 3 damage.
What's your con modifier?
3.
Your con modifier is 3?
Yeah.
No, then you took no damage.
Yep, no damage.
Oh.
I rolled a 3 and a
Well, I rolled a
con
6.
modifier is 2.
I rolled a
Oh.
6, so I got 3 damage, right?
Oh,
No,
you
No.
get
like,
to
'cause
reduce
twice
it
your con.
twice your con, since 2 people made the support action.
Okay.
So no
So,
damage.
This is what happened last time, and you didn't believe me.
So, what ended up being a bit of an ambush with whatever these creatures were, you were able to take out quite a bit of them before eventually taking out a few of them. The rest of them begin to disperse and run back into the shadows. So you take 3 damage total, Kieran. And, for Leaf.
Oh. What's his,
hit dice?
Which is what? Yeah,
That is a good question.
I don't remember what
figure
druids
that
are.
out.
Druids are a
D6?
D8.
Or
I believe.
D8?
Yep, go and roll D8
D8? Okay.
and subtract 6 from the damage.
No damage because I rolled a 5.
Right, great. So you make it out of this pretty unscathed and continue on down this dark hallway. I need... Was that Hermia or... No, that was Kieran who rolled that.
Yep.
All right. Who's next? E10, please.
So Hermia, do you want to kill us or do you want me to kill us?
You can kill us.
I love the
I'll
casual
roll it
pessimism of
in
this
here.
party, by the way.
It's casual nihilism, yeah.
Yeah, casual
6.
nihilism.
6. Lower than 8.
So continuing down this hallway and through whatever sort of facility this was, the best you can gather is that it definitely seems to be some sort of military facility in some way. You eventually come to a stop, sort of like a T in the road. And before you is another sort of big ornate door, very reminiscent of the door that took you in to construct the Golem room. But the hallway splits and goes to the left, goes to the right for about, well, as far as you can see. And as Hermia sort of sends her lights down, sort of both sides, to sort of get an idea of where they go, you see they both begin to turn sort of around away from you. So your choices are big door in front of you, path to the left that starts to turn to the right, and a path to the right that starts to turn to the left.
This seems,
Is there any change in, like,
terrain.
elevation or terrain? Yeah, with them.
You have been going down at a slight angle ever since you left the first room that you entered
I mean to say, does it look like any of the paths off the side look to be going up versus down, or do they all seem to be going in kind of the same direction?
They all do sort of
Vertically.
seem to be going down. I will say that based on this, you think that whatever these pathways are, they seem to be wrapping around the whatever chamber is in front of you. Hermia, give me a perception check.
Okay.
I just got the first sketch of Rosalind working out, and I'm gonna die. I'm bleeding out of my nose as it is. I'm gonna pass out.
Oh, honey.
Perception. A check?
Yep.
18.
Okay. As
18.
as everyone is deciding what to do here, kind of weighing some of your options, you do notice that there is a plaque or some sort of writing on the wall, maybe labeling what this room is supposed to be. I want you to make a history check with advantage since you have that book of ancient.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Advantage. History, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Where are you? 18. Why am I rolling 18?
All 18s. Okay. With an 18, of the 3 words that are here, and they're only sort of partial. Parts of them have sort of the whatever they've been carved into has slowly started to wear away. There's a little bit of damage to them. But of the 3 words, you can make out the first and the second, which says Arcane Weave.
What does that mean?
Those are and then there's the third word that you have no idea what it's supposed to say or what it was.
Does anybody know what arcane weave means?
Could be an ancient magic shop.
Arcane weave. Weave as in like weaving, like clothing? I mean, it doesn't mean clothing, but you could weave or
Yeah,
magic.
Kieran, you can make an Arcana check.
I used an inspo and rolled a 23.
A
Ooh.
23. Okay.
fancy. Super fancy.
Kieran, you have had conversations before with Gil about the origin of your magic, the gifts that he's given you. Well, he's not always forthright in his answers or his explanations. He has mentioned the weave before in passing. Never gone in depth about what it is, but in the context, in the way that he's talked about it, you surmise that it may be some sort of source of magic.
Kieran steps up. Arcane weave could be some source of magic. That's usually what that means.
A magical source, then. Well, would that get us closer to what we're trying to find?
You are looking for
Maybe.
something quite magical. I don't know.
Which path did it say that on?
The door in front of you.
Hey, Light, does arcane weave mean anything to you?
No.
I guess not.
Tear back, simple, straightforward.
No.
Fair enough.
Can I look around to see if there's been like foot traffic in a particular direction?
AK perception.
So good. 7 plus 8.
Taking a look around, no, not necessarily. Obviously, there's a lot of your own footprints here now as well, but there's a lot of sort of dust and rubble, and you think like you'd probably be able to tell if someone had disturbed it, but also with those sort of creatures running around, I mean, who knows? But sort of right off the top of your head, you don't see signs of anyone down here.
Do you guys want to open the door? See what's on the other side?
Can I put my ear against the door and listen?
Yeah, make a perception check.
$18 total.
Yep. So as you put your ear against the door, I'm gonna close your eyes and try to feel a slow sort of hum. It's a bit of a drum almost, and it's, you don't hear it so much as you just feel it slowly pulsating.
You want me to push the door open?
Not quickly. There's some kind of, how do I explain this? There's something that's giving off some power behind that. I more feel it within me than hear it, but there's a thrum of power, whatever is behind this door.
So,
I recommend some caution.
So push open slowly.
Yes, I suppose.
Rosalind will nod, and she'll. Does it look like a fairly large door?
Yeah, like I said, it's about the size of the door that was going into the construct room where you fought the goblins.
All right. And then Rosalind will put her shoulder against it and start pushing in, but kind of slowly.
Yep. So it opens as far sort of like to the left and right, like it opens like an automatic door essentially. But you're able to kind of use your sword to kind of crack it a bit and then get your fingers in there, and then you slowly begin to pull it open. And as you get it about a foot open, it opens the rest of the way on its own. And step inside, you see the source of what it was that Maeve felt. There is a pedestal in the center of this room. The room itself is maybe 30 by 30 feet. There's all sorts of desks around the edge, arcane instruments that at a glance none of you have any idea what it is that they do. And this thing in the center is the only thing giving off light, just this gentle, bluish sort of glow. And the pedestal itself goes from the bottom all the way up to the ceiling, which is about 15 feet high. But a 2-foot section of this pedestal, right in the middle of it, seems to have small little holes all around it that glow is slowly coming out of. And these holes seem to be flickering little by little, as though something in there, whatever is emitting this light, is turning slowly and just giving off this gentle glow. And now that it's open, all of you can hear it, just this gentle sort of pulsating hum.
That's certainly an object of power, perhaps. But I'm not sure if that is what we're looking for.
Well, I certainly wouldn't look at it and call it the Plague of Eyes, no.
Zana does pipe up. There was a reward offered for anything powerful that we could bring back to them.
Well,
Last time we tried to touch something, the doors closed. You all want to hold the doors open?
Just don't let
No.
Leo fuck with it.
I was just putting on my mask as she said that.
Rosalind glances around this rather sizable room and kind of just sighs. All right, I'll go touch it.
wait.
what?
Let Leo maybe look at it first. Not touch it. I mean, he's got the mask.
Yeah, I can
All right,
identify the magic.
all right. Come on, Leo. Let's go look at it.
You want us to stay out here? If the
No, stay in here because
if the
if
door
they're going to
does
attack
shut,
us.
I would rather all of us be in here to back you up
Yeah,
than be locked
stay-
out
but-
like before.
But stay near the door.
Yeah, agreed.
So is anybody not stepping into this room?
I mean, if we're all standing in here, I would be in there, I guess.
I'm in there.
All right.
Apparently, Kieran doesn't think that they would.
All right, so Kieran,
I don't
you're
know
gonna
if
stay
Leaf-
outside. Yeah, Leaf goes, I will stay out here with best friend Kieran.
Very well.
Right,
Come on,
so
thanks, bud.
Leaf and Kieran are standing outside. Right. So you head up to this thing, and you do notice now, as you get closer to it, it seems to react to your presence. The thrumming increases ever so slightly, and you watch as the bottom of this pillar that this thing is in opens up, and this small slab kind of extends out and has a bunch of keys or runes on it, very similar to the control panel in the construct.
Touching it. Hermia, come over here, please.
Why do I have to come over there?
Because I can't read this ancient gobbledygook.
Okay, don't touch it though. Can I read it?
And I'm gonna give her the mask to wear to give.
Okay.
She
So-
can use the 10 plus Arcana if she
Yep.
wants to.
So using this, you may make an Arcana roll. And since you know Zemnian, you can use the book for sort of ancient Zemnian. It's not going to give you advantage, but it will lower the difficulty slightly. So go ahead
Okay.
and make an Arcana check and add plus 10 to it.
Got 17 on the die, plus 5.
Plus another 10.
Wow.
Yeah, that.
Hey. You rolled yeah, that's actually a little bit more than enough. You actually would have made it even without the reduction, which was originally 30.
Nice.
Maeve, go ahead and give me a perception check for the surrounding area as well, as Hermia kind of puts this mask on. And it's weird, Hermia, this is the face of the statue Elroy. And as you kind of hold it up to your face, the eyes kind of flash, and all of this additional knowledge about what you're looking at begins to flash through your mind. And you guys watch as she opens up this book of ancient Zemnian and just starts to flip through it and kind of cross-referencing with stuff. And she goes quiet for like 10, 15 minutes. And anytime someone tries to like ask, you get shushed. So as Hermia's doing that, Maeve, you start to look around, and this was definitely a control room of some sort. Again, there's all sorts of magic tools or devices. Nothing that you know how it works, but you can see things etched in them. You see notes, there's stacks of books, there's glass containers, vials, a lot of them shredded or broken or shattered. But taking a look around, this does seem to be a research facility of some kind. There are also several cases and examples of what look to be, you know that they're not precious stones, or at least nothing that you've seen before, but they remind you of like healing crystals, we'll say, is the closest sort of real world comparison that I can make to it. But it was definitely some sort of magical laboratory, research center of some sort. And as you're looking at this, Hermia, after about 10 or 15 minutes, you realize what that other word outside was, as you start to put together what the use of this thing is. It's an arcane weave reactor. There is something within this compartment that they were siphoning power off of to power things. They were running some sort of experiment where they were taking power from this and infusing it within other things, and essentially using it as a arcane battery of some sort.
Oh. Do I know what's gonna happen if I take it out? Like what it's powering?
So you could definitely attempt to do that. However, I will say that because this hasn't been used in so long, you're not exactly sure. Best case scenario, you could open it up, take it out, everything will probably be fine. You can see whatever it is that's inside there. Worst case scenario, the reactor could go into some sort of arcane meltdown.
Oh, that sounds bad.
if you fuck it up.
I don't know if it's a good idea to remove this. This
Is
is
it-
some like reactor that's like powering something, and I'm really afraid about like what it's powering. Like if we take it out, like it could like cause like some catastrophic like meltdown, and the whole thing falls on top of us.
Clay has
It would-
gotten closer at this point. He's almost touching the section of this where this thing is, like his hand's up just a few inches away from it. And he looks towards you, Rosalind. He goes, "This feels familiar somehow.
Familiar?
Place what it is, but it's feels like home."
Oh. I guess Roz will kind of reach a hand towards it, see if she feels anything.
Just that thrumming. There's
Mhm.
almost a vibration when you get up close to it. Whenever it sort of lights up and pulses, you kind of feel that in your hand, and it feels warm, comforting almost.
Hermia, did you say out loud what you discovered?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, is this thing powering the golems we had to fight?
Possibly.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Quite a
You-
ways for them
you-
to
you
transfer
are
the power.
Quite a ways away from the correct. But this city was also massive, you know. I
Yeah.
would say that based on what Hermia's found and what you found, you're not sure it was being used as a central power source. But it was just being used as a battery in some form, whether that means that they were trying to charge smaller objects, they were storing that arcane power in some sort of batteries. Hermia basically surmises that there is a way to take this out, but if you screw it up, all the power that has been essentially stored up now for decades upon decades, if you screw it up, could be unleashed.
Rosalind will glance at Clay. You mentioned when you die and reincarnated, does it feel like this? Maybe a past life has felt it?
And as you sort of mention that, you see sort of recognition in his eyes. Not when we pass or are incarnated. I've only been in the presence of it twice, but I think there might be a Luxon on the other side of this.
Well, that seems like a big deal.
So, what does that mean exactly? Is that a.
It's an artifact of untold power created by the being that we worship in the dynasty.
Do you think we should try to take it out?
Sounds dangerous.
Sure, Kieran. Either or, do it at disadvantage, though, because I'm not sure that Kieran would have naturally stumbled across that sort of.
I will go for Arcana. Okay, that's 14.
Total?
You?
Unfortunately, the Luxon dynasty doesn't really mean a whole lot to you. You probably overheard when Clay and Rosalind were talking about it during their watch. Maybe you awakened at some point, kind of overheard, a little bit of it, but otherwise it doesn't mean a whole lot to you. You can see that there is conflict within Clay. When you ask him if we should try to take it, he hesitates. I am here for an entirely selfish reason. As a child of the dynasty, it is my sworn duty to return this artifact to my people. In fact, probably be the only thing that would guarantee that I am not sentenced to treason on sight if I were to return.
Of course, that will also mean we have to sneak it out past the Imperials, who I assume are not going to just let us have it.
They will kill all of you on sight. Have a discovery like this. The war 40 years ago was over one of these beacons. The Empire had conspired with traitors within the dynasty. Stole one of them.
This isn't the Plague of Eyes, is it?
No, this is something entirely different.
Then I don't care. You can have it.
Yeah, if it means that much to your people, like, I don't want the Imperials to have it either.
If your brother saw this, would he have taken it?
I don't know.
But he seeks a different treasure down here.
I know, but
Does
he's sworn by a similar oath. I wasn't sure.
I don't think that my brother planned on going back if he doesn't get what he's hoping to find here.
Hermia, what do you need to take it out safely?
And we already know what the danger is, so maybe if there's a way to know what the difficulty is, if this
Well,
is
it's gonna take a while, and I don't know if we have time.
Or maybe is there a way we could siphon off the energy to see if that'll help?
yeah, like turn it off before removing, or something.
I assume if I try to figure that out, Robbie, like that would take time.
Yeah, I mean, not
To
a lot of
do.
time. You essentially know what you have to do, but it's going to be a skill check. So, you know, this is trying to operate obviously very delicate instruments when like you don't quite understand the language, but you kind of know what things do. It would be the equivalent of like changing the language on your computer. And, like, you know where the start menu is, and you know where, like, your folders are. So you're kind of going off memory, but you can't quite read
Right.
anything.
What do you
If
need
it
in the way of
takes-
assistance?
So this is just another follow-up question to that. So I assume, like, not only does it take, like, the know-how, but, like, you need a kind of, like, dexterity to, I guess, like, not, like, accidentally, like, oops, I pulled this thing out and I didn't mean to.
Yeah, is it like Operation? Do we need to not touch the side as we extract it?
I have an idea. Hermia does the setup.
Right.
Once she kind of knows her thing, we have the oracle power that we can use to, like, learn that experience through her. So we could all take turns using that, giving us like a little bit of a baseline on this computer from 3,000 years ago, whatever.
Technically, Leo, you are right. Now that Hermia has this knowledge, you all have access to this knowledge as well. So we will say that based on that, anyone who wants to help with this skill check can do so with advantage.
Alright.
So I would assume, is this kind of like, as far as like a check, is this kind of like a convoluted, like, disarm trap sort of thing?
Kinda. Things will sort of open up to you as you start it. You know that there is a protocol, that there are buttons to just open this thing straight up. But if there is energy stored up in there, you're not exactly sure what the process of dispersing it properly is going to be.
So which skills will I be utilizing? 'Cause you said
this-
skill checks.
Yep, this is
so
going.
like
This is,
I assume that
this
it's
is
more
going to
than
be a skill challenge that multiple people can help with. So you will be able to decide what
one.
checks you want to use.
Got it.
Okay. I think we're gonna need someone with finesse to assist with this as like a start.
Probably
No.
Leo would be the best. I might be second best. I don't know where his skills lie, but I know we have very similar decks.
All right. If you're not helping at the time, you're gonna step out of the room because if it explodes and kills us, well, the rest of us have to finish this mission. So, yay.
Zana, do you wish to help? Or do you want to stand back?
She kind of looks back towards Kieran and Leaf. All of you are going to get yourself killed. They're going to need someone capable. So,
Wow. Hey, I don't know how I feel about that.
She might be the
Okay.
smartest among us, as it turns out.
Oh, I voted not to touch it, but if you're so sure that like we should try, then okay,
Yeah.
I'm in.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Let's do it. Skill check.
So whoever is helping me with Dex, I assume Leo, I'm gonna quickly cast the cantrip guidance to give you an extra D4.
okay.
I don't know if you're gonna need it or not, but it doesn't hurt. I can do it free.
Certainly doesn't hurt.
All right, so let me just make sure here. People in the room. Leo, Hermia, Rosalind, Clay, Maeve,
Yes.
Yeah.
and everyone... okay. So, Hermia, go ahead and start off with... We're going to begin to sort of start this process, which is mostly, tapping away at this control panel.
Okay.
So we're going to say that you're actually going to start off with a Arcana check.
Let me pull up something really quick. Okay. Arcana, here we go. Ooh. That's a 19 on the die plus 5.
All right, so you watch as she begins to wave her fingers through and kind of tap on some of these runes. And as she does, the room slowly begins to light a glow. The doors also slam shut, both behind you,
Oh.
and there's actually a door on the opposite side that was open as well. That should that shuts as well, and the room begins to sort of light up. A sort of same color as what this entity inside here does. And then you also see around the pillar here, on the back and on the left and the right, these small receptacles shoot out about a foot, and a mist begins to pour out of the top of this as you hear that thrumming slowly starts to get a little bit faster. Who would like to go next?
And then 6 golems activate. Robbie
They just
has
bust
an
through
idea.
the fucking ceiling.
Yep.
We're back, bitches.
So, what seems to be like the problem presented to us right now?
These receptacles have came out, so something to do with those. It seems, I will say, based on how well Hermia did, she kind of understands what's happening here, and as this thing is starting to power up, the energy needs a place to go. You basically need to flush the system, essentially.
Got it. How big are these receptacles?
They seem to be about the size of a fist.
That's convenient. I happen to have a fist.
You're gonna punch it?
No. Dear God, no. Okay.
Trying to think of what would be. So,
Do you have anything that can hold a good bit of energy?
If someone would like to make an intelligence check, that could be a good next step.
raw intelligence.
I would say intelligence, or you can do investigation.
Aw, I have a plus 5 to that.
I can try investigation.
Do it.
Okay.
If you would like to channel Hermia's knowledge, I'll give you advantage on the check as well.
I already get advantage on investigation, but I could have an extra
Oh,
bonus.
right. Of course. That's right. Maeve gets advantage on everything.
It's only +1. I hate it.
Go ahead. Yeah, you should take the +5 though, because advantage with a +5 is way better than an advantage with +1.
All right, I'd like the +5, please.
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh fuck.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's
Throw
not
up.
good.
I'm gonna throw up.
11. Nope, not 11. 13 total. Unfortunately, I rolled a
13 is just what you needed.
Thank God, because I rolled a 6 and an 8.
So as everyone's kind of like looking at that, and Hermia's like, "Come on, like guys, do something." Because she's afraid to like take her hands off of this terminal. And Roz is kind of going up, and you watch as she kind of like puts her fist next to this thing, and then she's like, you know, Roz, she thinks with her head
Fist.
in a different
she's
way.
sizing it up.
Yeah, and suddenly, Maeve, after looking around, you realize that what would fit perfectly in there are those sort of like stone crystal things that you had found. And so you
these
go
things.
and grab a few of them up and you hand them to Roz and to Leo, and each of you kind of go and try to find a way to sort of fit them in there, and you're able to like finagle them in there pretty decently.
I like to think you just smacked Roz's hand away from there. No.
No. No. Try this.
Who would like to go next?
So these things are able to slide in?
Yep, you're able to slide these into these receptacles.
Do they begin to glow, or is there any indication that they're charging?
Not yet.
Okay.
Or what's a skill somebody would like to use? You can repeat skills if you'd like as well.
Roz crosses her arms, thinking that she probably should have insisted on more like educational lessons and not just combat.
I'll do an intelligence roll.
All right, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Who has the highest intelligence?
Mine's only +1. I think it might
Plus
be.
0.
It might
+2.
be Herman.
Yeah, I'm gonna channel Hermia.
When you don't have a wizard in the party, and therefore no one has intelligence.
So true.
And I'll spend an
No,
inspiration.
you don't need to spend an inspiration since you're channeling Hermia. You get advantage on it.
Oh, okay.
What's everyone's proficiency right now, by the way?
+3.
Proficiency 3.
Okay.
That is so good that I got an advantage because I rolled a 2 and a 19. So 19 plus 2.
All right. So as each of you kind of put that in there, and you're kind of looking at it, Leo, you're kind of trying to see if there's a way to sort of push this thing back in. And as you're looking around, you do find some sort of contraption or button underneath it that as you press it, it lights up. Communicate this to everyone else. It does the same. Hermia begins to sort of do some stuff on her side, and each of these receptacles then kind of are recalled back into the machine. Hermia will say this next one is on you since everybody else. Roz, would you like to try and do something?
Yeah, Roz.
Smack it with your sword. Come on.
Yeah, Roz has her shield out to try to absorb the blow if it explodes. That's Roz's probably grand contribution to the nuclear physics problem that we've come across.
Okay, we'll just put it back to Hermia then. Hermia, go ahead and make another Arcana check with advantage.
Roz isn't an idiot, but a nuclear physicist she is not.
An arcane physicist.
Yeah, fair enough.
Exactly.
Are we sure this isn't radioactive?
You're not.
Arcana 21 total.
Okay.
All right. So as you begin to start to finagle with these, not 100% sure you're doing the right thing, this thing is now starting to thrum faster and faster and faster. The lights inside are spinning. It's flashing so much, and that vibration and that feeling now is almost causing all of you to feel like you're vibrating yourself. And then it stops. Those receptacles push back out, and these crystals that you had put in there are glowing now a bright white color. You reach in to kind of like, put your hand over it to see what the sensation is. It's not hot or anything, and Rosalind's probably the first one to touch one of them. Still
You know
cold-
me so well.
Still cold to the touch, as they were before, but they now seem to be infused with some sort of energy. And as you take those out, the receptacle in front of you where that light was slowly begins to open, like sort of come down to now reveal. In place, you see this dodecahedron, this 20-sided, large beacon, for lack of better terms. It seems to be encased in sort of like along the edges, an iron cage almost that has two handles up on the top of it. And you watch as white as he can go, since he's a drow, as Clay goes pale and just starts muttering something under his breath that I don't think any of you speak Undercommon.
No.
Yeah, nobody understands what he's saying. And you watch as he just reaches up, takes it, sort of like holding it there, and goes, "By the Lux." The doors also open back up on either side as well.
Rosalind pulls out the crystal pieces and just kind of like holding them like, well, I guess we'll take these too. She starts putting them in her pack.
You give those to those assholes. You can keep that thing
There
quiet.
we go. Yeah, we'll give them the charged up crystals and you can keep the D20.
So is that what they're called? 2 charged up crystals?
Yeah, for now, just put them in your inventory that you have, a Luxin infused crystal times 3.
Huh. 3 of them, nice. Okay, Roz will put them in her pack. Okay.
They're in the party loot.
Okay. She looks to
Y'all have
like-
no idea how deadly that encounter was supposed to be, but Hermia rolling a freaking 35.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Hermia. Good job.
Yeah,
We did it!
that was supposed to go into a meltdown and deal 1d6 damage times X, where X is the number of pulses, per turn until you figured it out, died, or there would have been at one point, basically abort button would have popped up somewhere that you could have pressed to just stop it.
Got
Yikes.
it. Jeez.
Looking over at Clay. You gonna be okay with that?
You watch as he opens his bag and kind of puts it in there, slings it back over his shoulder. That is, for anyone interested, obviously your character doesn't know this, but that is the Luxin Beacon. That is a legendary, wondrous item.
Neat.
Anyone watching Critical Role will recognize it.
I thought it was gonna be the freaking thing that teleported us around to different places and help people in need.
Oh,
I was
that
like, no,
one?
you don't, Robbie.
Nope.
Not
Nope.
again. You said it was a dodecahedron. I'm like, no. This
Nope.
is how Miranda had a bad day.
That one is much smaller. That's only about the size of like
Ah.
a softball.
Fair enough.
Well, all right.
So yeah, head back
yeah,
towards the
Zana
door.
kind of pops her head back in. Nothing exploded.
Thankfully not.
Do you think so little of us?
I didn't
He
say
thinks
that.
so littly of me.
I did not say that either. Pretty sure you're the only one amongst them that has a proper education.
Roz nods sagely, as if, yeah, it's true.
Shrugs.
Life is my education.
Well, regardless, thanks to Hermia's understanding, we were able to do what was probably the impossible. So, good job, team.
Yep. All right, then. So now we're left with the choice to go either through the door that opened that was in the back, right? That you said there's another door in this room.
Yes, and actually Zana says, oh, the hallways both converge on the opposite side.
Ah,
Simple enough.
fair enough. Then we can just head right through those doors, and I guess we'll continue on our way.
Oh, so.
Yes, Kieran. Was there any writing on the wall? Unfortunately, nothing that you can decipher. It's all pretty ancient Zemnian. Unless you have
even if
some
it's written.
warlocky thing that lets you read anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
well,
might
well in
change
that
that,
case,
I
yes,
see.
you notice on the door that it said Arcane Weave Reactor.
Oh, guys, I kind of was just reading it. It says arcane weave reactor. So I realize this might be too late now.
Oh, so you could have been reading what Hermia was reading. Just fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, ancient stuff. Sometimes, like, things translate wrong, you know?
Do you know this language?
No, not really. Just, sometimes when I see it, like, the characters shift and it translates to common for me.
That's a neat trick.
That is certainly a neat trick.
Yeah, it's handy sometimes. So, sorry, I should have said something earlier. Hermia was just really in the zone, so I didn't want to say anything.
Hey, it worked out.
It all worked out, but if we ever need more ancient languages, we know who to talk to.
Who would like to roll our next?
Hermia gets to determine our fate, right?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, I've rolled so many dice already though.
Too bad you gotta roll
D10.
this one too.
A 10. Okay, hold on.
Trying to make up for all the time you haven't rolled dice.
There you go.
Okay. A 3.
A 3.
You begin to walk through these hallways and continue. Over the next few hours, you don't seem to run into many other forms of life. There are a few times where you hear that same sort of wind behind you, where you see the eyes, whatever those shadow things were that attacked you, kind of skittering off in some of the shadows, but for the most part, they seem to no sign of any fiends or demons if Rosalind checks for them. But about 2 hours into the rest of your dive through these ruins, seem to leave behind the familiar architecture of Shattengrod. At one point, you see Clay starting to become more and more nervous. And all of you begin to feel it as well, as if eyes are upon you, if something's watching you. Any of you with a high perception notice those around you as you constantly sort of meet eyes. Nothing's really happening. There's no sounds. There's nothing out of the ordinary that seems to be drawing your anxiety, but you can tell between the group that everyone is starting to feel. Whatever it is, something just tells you you're getting closer. At some point, sorry, continue.
I was gonna say, I suppose there's both a good and a bad thing going.
Eventually, you come across what looks to be the ruins that are much older, much different. It's not the same architecture as the pre-calamity mage city of Shattengrod. Anyone who's trained in history can make a history check if you'd like to.
Ah, that's me.
Yeah, not me. I always forget I took it in religion, not history.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Then in that case, you actually do recognize these ruins. There's not a whole lot left to them. It looks like maybe at one point it could have been a courtyard of some type. There is stairs that all of you are kind of like walking down, and there's a sort of platform above you. You see about 50 feet away the remains of an archway and what looks like it might have been towers at some point. It seems dwarven in make. That's when you start to notice as well that there are trees is the best way to describe them. You're underground though. but they're almost fungal in nature. And then you also see directly in front of you, just down this stairway with these pillars around you as you walk into these ruins, you see this large spiral sort of geological formation. It kind of spirals up out of the ground, and it has a mix of blues and greens and whatever this sort of rock formation is that sort of spirals up into point. And you notice there's another one as you kind of send your lights out a little bit to sort of illuminate the area. You see another one a bit further off. Left. Going to the right. It's at that point you notice, too, down in the center of this courtyard, you actually see what looks to be a campsite. Not used. You see a pit where maybe a fire was, and there are some large logs maybe cut from these sort of fungal-looking trees. I would say that Rosalind, I know that you're not here now.
I was gonna say
Of
she
course.
just stepped out. She's about to come back in.
Having just stepped away, of course.
Yeah, she's about to come back in.
Sorry, I was checking to make sure the popper was inside.
Yep, no problem. This is familiar in a way to you, having explored the depths of Vano and some ruins in Vano. And of course, your realm also has an Underdark. But you surmise that you have gone enough, that you have left the ruins, and you are probably on the cusp of the You have all now been traveling since you woke up for probably about 7 hours.
Jeez.
Long time.
So it's probably like mid-afternoon-ish in theory.
I have no
Hard to tell.
idea, but maybe.
Yeah. Rosalind kind of like glances around. I know this is going to sound strange coming from me of all people, but this looks familiar.
Familiar in what way?
The city that I'm from is literally built into a mountain, and you can, most of the ways are closed off by now, but you can sometimes get into the under parts of the mountain, and if you go deep enough, well, you reach a place called the Underdark. This looks like that.
What's in the Underdark? Other than like the demons we've been fighting.
Yeah.
In my world, my Uncle Guy's corpse.
Say that again?
You've also heard of, and in fact, all of you would have heard of. It's a vast network of underground caverns in tunnels, underneath the surface of Exandria. If you go deep enough, even Maeve, when your people lived underground, they didn't quite live in the Underdark. The Underdark isn't just referred to as below the ground. You have to basically go far enough down to get to it. It's home to a host of evil beings driven deep into the caverns at the end of various ages, and it is also where the Crawling King and his minions, where his minions fled to upon his defeat. But he was also banished to a realm adjacent to the Underdark.
That's Steve.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, I glance over at Clay. Do you think we need to go this far down, or have we maybe taken a wrong turn?
The feeling that something is watching us only gotten stronger. I would like 2 people, or actually whoever wants to, go ahead and make a perception check.
Nah.
I can help with that. Yeah. Never mind. Someone else want to help, please?
Yeah,
16 plus 8.
Maeve is too distracted with the idea that she's getting closer and closer to the entity that doomed her people to centuries of life underground.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant feeling. Let's just put it that way.
I'm excited to meet Steve.
Yes, so Leo, you do notice on one of these pillars as you guys are sort of descending into this the ruins of this courtyard, that there is carved into one of these pillars an eye.
Ew.
Ugh.
I think we're going in the right direction, and I point up towards the statue.
Do I
Good.
recognize what that eye is?
No, it just seems to be like carved, not expertly either, mind you, but just like someone took a chisel or some sort of like crude implement and just carved an eye. But
Well, I suppose if that's a sign as much as anything. Rather not like this place.
Just be on guard. We might get ambushed because I haven't had this many eyes on me since a really bad drug bust.
Donna points out, though, if we are going to make camp, this seems as good a place as any. If other people or other things have camped here before, it means it must be relatively safe.
Might be our last chance for a while. Couldn't hurt. All right, we set up camp once more, and then we'll descend
right.
deeper in the morning, or in a bit
Yeah, so I have a timer or something.
when we feel rested.
Fair enough.
All right, watches. We're definitely taking watch down here.
So you descend down past the first of these weird sort of spiral blue-green formations towards where the camp was set up, I suppose, and begin to take watch. In what order are you all going to take your watch?
At least it'll be more pleasant than sleeping on stairs.
A little bit
That's
more.
very fair.
Not a lot more. I'm not saying it's not the Four Seasons, but you know.
Oh, I can't take a watch with Maeve because everybody thinks I'm trying to fuck her. So
Everybody
What?
thinks I'm
Who
flirting
said
with-
that?
No, it was a joke from earlier.
I'm just, yeah.
All right.
I'm
No,
playing.
Kieran thinks Maeve is flirting with everybody, that's all.
First watch. Donna
can be
speaks
on
up
first.
and says, "I'll take it with Kieran."
Okay.
No, I will take it with Donna.
You three can stay up. That's fine.
You're welcome
we
to
have
join
enough.
us.
I think I will.
Very
Alright.
well.
Donna.
No, Maeve was chummy with Clay, so why don't you take Clay for the second watch and me and Roz will have the third.
Very well. That's
Seems
fine.
fair enough.
Might be our last night, Maeve. And I give her a wink. And I lay down.
Like, what?
Rosalind raises her eyebrows like, oh.
She just shakes her head and just is very confused. All right, go to sleep.
One lays down to go to sleep.
Yep, sleep time.
Donna just sits there, takes out one of her guns, and begins to clean it. Just watches Q.
Hermia will pull out her deck of cards that she had earlier and just like start playing Go Fish.
With yourself?
I'll just like deal for Kieran, and if she doesn't play along, then I'll just
Play
play
with the
both sides, I
sword.
guess.
Alright. Kieran, do you play with her?
Sure. Very awkward. When he tries to shuffle, it's not like how there's no flourish. It's very clumsy. And you said Zana's just watching me.
Yeah, she's just sitting there with you. Like, she looks up every now and then, but she definitely does seem to have a... her attention does seem to be mainly focused on.
That's
Also,
creepy.
Ignore the fact that I'm using Roy's token. Casey. All of you make perception checks. You two at disadvantage.
No.
Did you just say no?
Yes.
Okay then.
That's a 3.
3. Good.
Can I use inspo to just do a straight roll?
Yeah, you sure can.
Okay, I'll do that. I got a 19 on the die plus 6.
6. So as you're playing, you keep obviously looking up towards Donna as well, feeling a need to protect Kieran. And as you do, Hermia, out of the corner of your eye, you feel like you see one of those formations. And you feel a slight rumble around as
Wait. I hear a rumble?
you feel like just a slight rumble in the ground as that happens.
Did anybody else feel that?
What?
Kind of looks up for a moment. See something?
Yeah. In DM, I kind of spaced when you were talking, so I don't know what I saw. I just know that I saw
So
something.
there are these 3 large sort of spiral formations coming up out of the ground that they're a weird sort of geological formation that you've never really seen before, but they're kind of like splashes of like green and blue. Definitely seem out of place here as they kind of spiral up out of the ground.
Oh, so they rose up from the ground?
No, so they're jutting out of the ground, and one of them you saw kind of like twisted a bit.
Oh. Okay. One of those where they spiral things like moved and caused the ground to like shake.
Zana sort of stands up, readies her gun. Go poke it.
How far away is it?
The one that moved is about 15 feet from you. There's another one that's only 10 feet away from where you are behind you. And then there's
I'm
another one that's like 5 to 10 feet away from a couple of
I'm gonna
people.
shoot over some dancing light to where I saw it move.
So
kinda like
as you
illuminate.
shoot your dancing lights over there, you notice these 3 long kind of tentacle-like things that shoot back down into the ground, and then it begins to rumble and shake, and you watch as the ground around it begins to crack, and you feel that rumbling behind you as well. And all of you who had sat down to go to sleep, it's only been about 10 minutes so far, you all feel that as well now. And as everyone kind of starts to sit up and like, what the fuck is going on? You watch as these formations begin to rise up out of the ground, and you realize now they were shells. And you see these giant snails push up out of the ground as well. These long tentacle-like things on their faces that have sort of like these club-like spiked things on the end of them. And as these giant snails come up out of the ground, I'm going to need everybody to go ahead.
Oh shit, get your weapons out.
For initiative.
Raz, you'll want to adjust your health properly.
See them. Yeah, everyone make sure that your health is where it is supposed to be.
Yep, I just took 1 damage. I don't like this
Shoot
snail.
the battle map. And as you all go ahead and get your weapons ready and roll your initiative, add it in here.
No.
Yeah.
I gotta do the same thing, so I'll be right back.
Yep. Yeah. Just go ahead and edit your number over on the turn order there. Get
Kieran.
battle music going,
Oh snap!
and I'll be RB.
Oh, Roy's here. That's good news.
Where is his eyes?
I'm sorry, Leaf. I rolled a 6 on the die.
What does a snail wear for armor?
What?
Snail mail.
Nice.
Snail. What do you gotta do if you take the snail to a party?
What?
You gotta get him out of its shell.
Oh, God.
All right. Maeve.
I'm so glad you're
you
back.
Rolled a 6 on the dice for Leaf.
Yeah,
Plus
I didn't roll
2.
very good.
All right. He usually rolls very good anyway, so that's an 8. Clay also rolled very, very poor.
Oh.
The yellow dot on Luster is because he's still on lightning. I didn't changed it yet.
No problem. M-A.
I saw that. I was like, CK!
Yeah, in the Dynasty, K's are pronounced like.
Oh,
Really?
interesting.
Oh.
I would have believed you, man.
Yeah, I
was
would
like, okay.
too.
Hey, man.
Canon.
I've heard weirder
Jeez.
things.
Can't trust anything.
Ooh, the snails rolled in.
No, they didn't.
They-
No,
Oh,
I don't
man.
believe you. How did the snails roll 18, but Clay rolls like poop?
-3, so
All right, guys. Their deck saves are garbage.
No, I can't unhear that.
what?
They're
That their
What?
deck saves are like garbage. Like I know it's like implied, but I feel like not to like take that.
All right. Top
count.
of the turn order as these things come up out of the ground. Leo, you're first.
How tall are these pillars?
Those actually aren't pillars. They're just sort of like small. It looks like they were probably being used as like seats. So they're only about 6 inches tall, 6 inches high.
And I'm guessing these things are pretty hulking.
Yeah, these things are massive as they come up out of the ground.
Shit. Shittity shit. I'm not going to abandon Maeve. I'll come over here. Are the eyes like low enough for me to take a called shot on?
You can certainly attempt to attack what looks to be eyes if you would like to.
Those don't look like eyes to me. They look like little mouths.
Ugh, I don't like that.
Let's pretend they're eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
All right, so you'd like to try and attack those. Go ahead and make an attack roll. We'll say -5 to the attack for a called shot.
So 17 plus 8 minus 5. So 20.
All right, so that does still hit, so go ahead and deal your damage.
Dagger damage is 4 plus 5. Oh, I don't have sneak attack damage, do I? Because no one's... Or no, because no one's attacked it yet. Do I get it?
Because no one's... Are you an assassination rogue?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Never
Yeah,
No,
so
mind.
it's-
nope,
so
it's
you don't have-
no sneak attack important.
Okay, then I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage. Because I really don't want to fucking be...
Did you roll damage?
Yeah, it was 9 damage for the dagger hit.
So yeah, you are able to sort of slash at one of those things as it like comes down towards you, but you realize as you do, those things aren't eyes. They just seems to be flails because the edges of them are spined and tough. And it definitely seems like that's what it's going to use to attack you with.
Yeah. Stay away from the squishy head, and I will back away using disengage.
Okay. With that, it is Zana's turn, and she... Oh boy, yeah, there's not a lot of great places to go.
Nope.
She is going to begin to run over here to try and go and get high ground, but it is going to take an attack of opportunity against her. Oh, thank you, and misses, fortunately. That's... Closer to another one, great. And fuck it, she'll fire at that one there. So takes out her pepper box, and one of them hits, the other one ricochets off of the shell. And as she does, you do notice that one of those flails from the shot gets blown off.
Nice. Way to go, Zana.
Shut up and focus.
I loosened it up for you.
Your turn, Maeve.
Okay. Maeve is gonna kind of move between these people over here. And then she's going to do her attack. Alright, let's do the first attack. Oh. Shoot. Well, that's okay. Does that miss? Because I need to
it does, yeah. So you go to fire at it, and it kind of hits the shell and glances off. As from where you are, you kind of don't realize that you have a great angle on the squishy bits.
That is fine. I'm just going to do it again, actually. Do this again. 24?
24 does hit. Are you attacking the same one as well?
Yeah, sorry. It's
Yep.
this guy.
Yep, no problem. All right, so go ahead and roll
I'm gonna
your
use
damage.
I'll use favored foe on it, and I'm gonna have Luster help me as well. So give me 1 second. So I got 3 dice roll. 1. Do an infused strike, and then I'll do the. Where are you? That. Okay, so that is a total of, it looks like 18. Yeah, 18 damage with that.
Damage.
And then I will have I have a bonus action still, so I'm going to use that to have Luster do a bite attack.
All right. Yes, Kieran. So yeah, you fire your arrow into it with lightning damage on it? Or was that?
Yes.
Or no, yeah, okay. So
Yes.
yeah, it lands in and begins to crackle and spark, and this thing starts to swing itself around in pain. And go ahead and roll for Luster's attack.
Yep. Go, baby, go. Uh-oh, 13.
Yeah, so Luster runs up and sort of clamps onto one of the eyes, and it just kind of like throws him back off again. But as it does, the electricity and the way that it seems to have, or the lightning and the way that it seems to have interacted with the fleshiness of this thing seems to have made one of the stalks go a little brittle, and as it throws Luster off, the eye stalk comes with him.
Nice!
Oh.
Or the
Good boy!
the flail. It's not really an eye stalk, the flail.
Yeah. Good boy.
Anything else?
Luster
you'd like
brings
to
it
do,
over looking very pleased with himself.
That is my turn.
Maeve? He starts eating it.
Oh, gosh.
Hermia, your turn.
I'm gonna hit it.
With...
My sword.
All right, so you're going to move
Alright.
closer to this one?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
girl,
go
Hermia, I'm
ahead
so proud of you.
and roll for attack. Did you make the changes we were talking about, or is it just a regular, or no?
No, just
Okay.
a regular.
Yep.
Hold on. Dice. That is. Hit. 12 plus 8, 30, 20.
Yeah, so you go up and you slash out at it, carving through it. Again, not drawing any blood, but leaving this black, thick scar along where it is. And this thing does scream out in pain with this high-pitched gurgling noise. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is 10 damage. 5 plus 5. And then can I, then as a bonus action, do Raven's Anger to like try to push it back?
You can, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll do that.
Charisma save?
Yeah.
It's -3 charisma. Yeah, yep, it fails. So as you slash through it and it begins to like scream out, you plunge your sword into the ground. Go ahead and roll the damage for it.
Okay. 11. 6 plus 5.
All right, and as the necrotic damage bursts forth from you, it throws it back
15 feet.
15 feet up the stairs. Incredible force considering how big and heavy this thing is. And as it does, you also notice that necrotic energy burns away 2 of its flails.
I hit it!
Good work.
End of your turn, Hermia?
Yep, that's it.
All right, Roz, it is your turn.
So I presume Roz wouldn't have her heavy armor on, right?
We'll
Probably
say
would not have been
that
sleeping in-
again, it was just kind of the first like 5 to 10 minutes. So everyone's
Okay,
kind of
cool.
like laying down, getting ready to go to bed. But we will say that you were
Okay,
sort of
cool.
in the midst of probably chatting with Clay or Maeve and just getting ready to start taking it off. So you still have your armor
Great.
on. You maybe had to like
Excellent.
do up one strap really quick.
Literally in the process of getting off, I'm like, God
Damn it.
every time. She's gonna then go grab her sword and shield off the ground and go dart past Hermia and call out, "Great job, Hermia!" And yeah, she's gonna run up and stab it.
All right, go ahead and stab away.
Stab, 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 stab. 26
26
or 25.
hits. Yep.
25. All right. 1d8 plus 3. 7 slashing damage.
As you
Cool.
cut into the fleshy bits, your sword also kind of like ricochets off of the shell a little bit.
And she'll pump a divine smite into that for another
All
2d8. So that's gonna be 13 radiant damage.
All right, and as that divine smite apparates above it and comes down and strikes it, you watch as it burns through another one of the tentacles.
She'll attack again. 16.
So this time it kind of rears itself and turns a bit, using its shell to kind of bump you in the shoulder, throwing off your attack, and you miss.
Okay, and that'll be my turn.
It is now the snail's turn. Quick. All right, I need Hermia, Kieran, Leo, Leaf, and Zana to all make a wisdom saving throw as this... No, actually, no, I'm probably just going to move closer for review. That is everybody. Everybody has to make a wisdom saving throw as this snail to the south moves up closer towards you, and then its shell begins to sparkle. And like it almost seems like it's rotating, and then suddenly this bright, brilliant light flashes out, causing everyone to recoil. If you want to make a wisdom save, let me know what it is in the chat there. You to roll for a leaf for me, please, Maeve.
Yep.
Kieran, you are stunned. Leaf, Maeve, Rosalind is fine. Hermia is fine. Leo is fine. Clay, stunned. Roll for Luster as well, please.
Oh, yep. Sorry, I gotta open up this thing because I forgot what it was.
No problem.
Because they don't put the whole stat block on the D&D Beyond.
All right, that will be its turn, though. The one near you, Rosalind, is going to attack you with the 2 tentacles, or the 2 flails that it has.
Rude.
Oh, we just have it. Okay, let's just do that.
And that is
Oh, 24
5
for...
plus 5 for 10, and a 5 plus 3 for 8. So you put your shield up as these club-like tentacles slam into it. And they have some heft to them, but you're able to absorb both of the hits off of it. What was Luster?
I'm assuming Luster's 24. Assume he's good.
Luster manages to take it as well. And because Luster is right there, this snail will turn its fury towards him instead of Zana.
Yeah.
And attempt to flail him with 3 of its tentacles.
Ooh, okay.
That is a 20, an 18, and a 17.
They all hit as AC 17.
All right, as Luster begins to try and weave in between these tentacles, all 3 of them wallop him in a quick succession to where as one hits him and he goes flying, another one gets him, bouncing in between all of them before they smash him down into the ground. He takes a total of 17 bludgeoning.
Ooh, okay. He's not happy about it.
Nope, it's not great for him. Oh man, I had the one with the most attacks. Do the stupid stun thing. With that,
Oh, Leaf's turn.
Kieran and
What?
start with Kieran, who is stunned. I assume 23 hits.
Yeah.
You take 8 piercing damage as a large javelin stabs into your back, and you can't really turn because you're to see what it was because stunned. But the rest of you see a Duragar up here on this large sort of what used to be a tower that threw it and shouts out something that none of you understand.
Wait,
What
what
is it?
language was it?
It's Undercommon. None of you understand Undercommon.
No, what is a
Duragar, it's a dark dwarf.
Oh, okay.
Hermia, you also take 8 piercing damage as another one hits you, kind of cutting through your side and impacting into the ground.
Wait, how many?
8.
What on earth?
Who's throwing shit?
You turn around and see this dark dwarf up on this platform. Now it's Leaf's turn. And Leaf... stuff I don't know what it does.
Turns into giant animals.
Is going to
Or turns to
turn...
starfall.
Is actually going to turn up towards that Duragar and goes, "It is not nice to hit my best friend Kieran. You must be punished." And is going to Thorn whip him to pull him down.
He does like to do that.
Yeah, he does.
But he
does do
never
that.
uses it as an attack. He's always used it to save people.
Yeah, it almost killed me once.
Save is an interesting term.
That
Yeah.
does hit, though, for 11 damage.
Just drags motherfucker on top of Asana.
I mean,
Yeah.
actually, how far? Because he might have actually just done that, yeah, which is the leafest thing to do.
Yep. Well, technically, it's a pretty
Far
straight
does it
shot.
pull?
I think 30 feet or 20.
10 feet closer. So almost.
Oh, dope.
Basically,
Right there.
and we'll say that he drops 10 feet, which gives him another, now just 1 damage, 1 falling damage. But now he's in front of the Duragar. And does he have anything to do as a bonus action?
He can
Spell?
transform to a starry form as a bonus. If you'd like.
Yeah,
to
we'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah. So you all watch as Leaf's, what's a good starry form icon?
Arrow, I think, does damage.
We're gonna
and
use it.
Chalice
Uh,
does healing.
Yeah, we'll have him do chalice, but you all watch as his limbs, so like his arms kind of detach from his wrists, and then from his elbow, and then from his shoulder. His torso, his head, and there's like a star, like you would see like in a like the way constellations are drawn, that still keeps them connected, and that star on his chest emanates out, and there's sort of like a magical, almost hologram type like constellation of a chalice that is beaming out of his chest and apparating just in front of him. With that, it is Clay's turn, who is stunned, and I believe you're just stunned for a round, and he saved from it. Oh wait.
I always forget that.
Oh yeah, yep. Just until the light goes out. So this thing is shining this light still, and Clay can't do anything. Sorry, Kieran, can't do anything. And we're back around to Leo's turn.
Boo.
Boo.
Kieran can't do anything.
Oh.
Sorry, Kieran. Love you.
All good.
I guess I'll attack the thing in front of me.
Go ahead. Bing away.
16 plus 8.
That'll hit. Go ahead and deal damage.
It's 9 on the dagger. 1, 4, 3.
You do get sneak attack this time as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm adding up. So 5, 8 sneak attack damage.
Yep. So as you stab and slash at this thing, it kind of rears down towards you in pain, and you're able to sever off one of the flails as you do.
I'm going to disengage with my bonus action, and I'm going to come over here and give Zana help.
Okay.
The Duragar.
Yep. Hana's fully just shoots things, but since this thing is right underneath her, she will take out her dagger and just stab him.
Stabby stab.
And with advantage, that's a 24. Ooh, she rolled very well. For 22 damage. Whoa. As she just plunges this dagger straight down into his throat, you watch it just kind of coughs blood up. And then as she stands up, pulling the dagger out, she points her gun down at him. And even though at disadvantage, pulls the trigger point blank. And you watch as this thing's head, she pulls the trigger. There's a loud pop sound. And Leo, you're just splattered with Duragar.
Ooh. Gross.
And then she is going to climb up the ladder. As she does, this snail is going to swing at her and miss. Maid, it is your turn.
Alright, Maeve's gonna growl. Don't hit my luster. I'm just gonna hit this guy.
Yep, make the attack.
Alright, 1 sec. Okay, first attack. 19?
19 will hit.
Do you mind if I just do my second attack to do my damage all at once?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Second attack. 21.
21 also hits. Go ahead and
Awesome.
do it all up.
Alright, give me 1 second. Favorite foe is just hit creature. We can mark it first time. Okay, so favorite foe is only once per turn. Once per attack. I just wanted to make sure of that. So, one of these. Another of these. I will have Luster add his infused strike with one of those. And then one of these. And that should be all for that part of the damage. So,
25 total.
yes. And then I will do bonus action for Luster to take another bite.
Go ahead.
Chomp.
Chomp him, Luster. You got this. Alright, where are you? Bite attack. Damn it, he rolled 10. Never mind.
Yeah, he does.
He's not doing well.
Yeah, he does miss as he kind of like goes up and tries to bite at another one of these tentacles. But in its haste, as this thing is like screaming and screeching and flailing about, you do notice the damage from your attack has caused another one to fall off.
Okay.
Did you want to move or move Luster?
He's got got attack of opportunity is my worry about that.
He already used his reaction to attack
Oh.
Sama.
Then yes, I'm gonna call Luster back to my side.
You should be able to. All right. With that, Hermia, it is your turn.
I'm gonna. I will cast Hex on the one that Roz is currently next to. A
All right.
bonus action.
Yep.
Let me mark that before I forget.
And that's a concentration, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I will run up and hit it again.
Okay. Do you want to, I assume, get flanking position with Roz?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I rolled a 14 plus. Wait, no, hold on. That's wrong. No, actually, it's true. 14 plus 8.
All right, and then plus another 2 because of the flanking. So yes, that's more than enough to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Then that is 11 and. Oh, here's my d6. I just had it. Oh, got it. Okay. And then a 5.
All right, so you hack at it, and as you run by it, it attempts to try and hit you with one of its flails as well. And you basically parry and then counter, lopping that off as it does. And it screeches out now with 4 bloody flail stumps and just 1 remaining.
I hit
I'm
it!
so proud.
Rosalind, it is now your turn.
Yeah. So Rosalind is going to use her bonus action first to charge up Shield of Faith on herself. An extra +2 to AC. And then she's gonna treat this like sparring with Hermia and
She
just
gonna
stab
chop
this
it.
thing.
Chop
Yep, she
away.
gonna chop.
Chop away.
How about a 17 to hit?
17 does hit.
6 slashing damage.
All right.
We will spend a level 2 spell slot for 3d8. Go.
8.
Show me radiant damage. Ooh. Nice. Very good. So that is going to be 19 radiant damage.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah. So with them all the eyes down, she's gonna duck down low and just kind of go up underneath it, and like as the radiant light shines up into it, it like makes the shell illuminate.
Yep, so as you stick your sword into it and use that smite, it basically ignites like a lightsaber would, and that divine energy shoots into the shell and shines out in scintillating colors, just like the other one is currently doing, but not in a blinding fashion. And as you pull it out, there's like this sludgy sort of slurping pop sound, and the entire thing deflates as the insides just begin to cascade and fall down the stairs. For once, Roz, not all over you.
Yes! Oh, man, it's the happiest day of Roz's life.
What else would you like to do? You still have your movement?
Yeah, she's going to high-five Hermia and then run back into the fray. She's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Right.
Yep.
This thing's shell begins to stop shining, which means that Kieran is no longer stunned. Flay is no longer stunned. And with this shining leaf thing down below it, it is going to use its 4 attacks against.
Oh boy.
Rude.
Very rude.
That is a 16, 23, a 24, a 26. At least it does not. His armor class
Probably.
is 19.
Oh. Oh wow.
So he takes 3 of them as they all begin to clobber against him for 19 damage. The other one here is going to take its 2 attacks towards Theo.
Come at me.
12 and a 17.
17 meets.
All right, so you only take 5 bludgeoning damage as it smacks you in the head with its.
I'm gonna use my reaction to use Uncanny Dodge to have it.
All right, you take 2 damage then. Don't want to take that 2 damage. Ooh.
I mean, it's a
Uncanny Dodge.
reaction.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's gonna come back. It always comes back.
All right, so the Duragar over here, after having seen Leaf essentially throw a whip around him, pull him to the ground, and then see this ASMR stab his buddy in the chest and then blow his face up, says something in Undercommon that none of you quite understand, but with enough context loosely translates to "fuck this." And you watch as he runs this way, and you see him kind of jump over the edge.
You know what? You don't have to speak the language to know what "fuck this" sounds like.
Pretty much.
Seriously.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, so back over on to Leaf's turn. Oh boy.
See what you gonna do?
What is Leaf going to do? Action. All right, he's going to use his action to disengage.
Fair
He's
enough.
going to run this way to get behind Kieran. And then he is going to use a healing word on stealth at 2nd
Smart.
level.
Smart.
6 and his chalice does something for.
Yes, it adds a extra to it. I forget how much though.
An extra D8 plus
Yeah, I
his
think-
spell modifier, I
Sorry,
believe.
Bad.
when you cast 1d8 plus 4. Okay. That is.
I have to know this for
6.
Thursday. I play the same class.
So 15.
Nice.
It's a pretty good healing word.
That's a
Jeez.
pretty good healing word. It was at 2nd level, but still a pretty
Still.
good
Oh,
healing
yeah.
word.
No,
Uh,
My
and
cure
with-
wounds don't usually heal that much.
Yep, with that, it is Clay's turn. Who's come and move back here to get flanking with Theo. And we'll do X. And one of them hits. And it realizes, oh, being behind them attacking the shell, that's not super great. Does 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 damage to it. Which causes it to kind of smash itself in pain against this tower that Zana's on. And in doing so, he kind of mashes the second of his last 2 tentacles between the tower and his shell, and it just kind of sits there mangled. Kieran, your turn. I don't know, is Kieran back yet?
I can't tell.
Kieran?
Kieran!
All right, she's just going to Eldritch Blast then. She'll kind of back up behind Leaf now. And Hermia, go ahead and roll Eldritch Blast damage, or attack for me. We'll have you roll for her.
Okay. 1 second. D10. That's a different dice. That's a 10 and a 3.
What's your, like, to hit?
Oh, you want me to roll the hit
Yeah, I'm
first.
pretty sure your stats are probably similar.
That's 19 on the die plus 8, and 14 plus 8.
All right, so yeah, both of those hit. So go ahead and roll 2d10.
I already did that. It's 13.
Oh, okay. And so we'll say 23 damage from her 2 Eldritch Blasts. As he lobs both of them, and one of them blasting off one of the flails. Leo, back around to you.
How's this one right in front of me looking?
Not looking great. It has one of its things left, and you can see that it's kind of, as it's not looking around because it seems to have tremor sense, but it's kind of slowly beginning, you can see as its muscles begin to tense up like it's going to retract back into its shell.
Okay. Well, does a 13 plus 8 hit?
It does.
21. I'm good at my mad minutes.
And with your
2
sneak
plus
attack,
5.
yeah, with your sneak attack damage as well, I'm sure it's more than enough. You run towards this thing, plant your foot on the corpse of this Duragar, jump up towards the shell, and push yourself off the shell as you swipe off the last of the flails, and then put your other dagger in this thing's head and kind of like ride the dagger down back onto the ground. And as it bursts open and all of its guts and fluids spill out, you do get covered in it. You did.
I just changed my cigar and give Roslyn.
I had you do double Eldritch Blasts, but if you want, I can give the HP back. You can take your turn now.
What I've wanted to add was like the bonus action with my card.
Go ahead. Do it right now, then.
Thank you, I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. I took your last turn by stunning you, so the least I can do.
It's all good. Ooh.
Kieran's like, I just want to do my bonus action. It's a wild magic.
Thank God.
Everyone's dead. Leo, you didn't do that.
11 to hit.
Unfortunately, 11 doesn't hit. So what your bonus action is throwing a card, right?
Yep, so it basically functions like a dagger. The range is a little different.
Yeah, so you
but I
all
throw
watch
it,
as
yeah.
Kieran throws the 2 Eldritch Blasts, one of them impacting center mass, the other one taking a flail off, and then he takes out a card and sort of shoots that towards it, and that just kind of goes wide and embarrassed. Meant to ask, by the way, Kieran, throughout this day when you woke back up, have you still been in changeling form, or were you back in boy form?
I think still changeling form. I would have had my hood up and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, just for everyone's kind of information on what it's been. Yeah. All right. So with that, it is back around to Zana's turn, and you watch as she kind of jumps and then runs across this archway, and then sights on Maeve.
All right. Do I have line of sight on this guy, or do I need to move?
You do. Nope, you do.
Okay, cool. All right. And she's gonna raise her arrow and go, let's get this done. And gonna do an attack. 20, I assume, is good.
20 is good. That hits.
I will do my second attack just for sake of ease.
Both of those
25,
hit.
I assume, is good.
Yep.
All right. I don't get the D4 because it's a new enemy, but that's fine. Let me just do the damage real quick. 1, 2, and then we're gonna. I think he's close enough for infuse, right? Yeah, he got this. Infuse strike with lightning. So my attack. Lester, why are you always rolling ones? My attack is 27 damage. My 2 attacks,
Right.
excuse me.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna be like, Lester, you got this. And we're gonna have him move. And I'm gonna take a big chomp. And big chomp.
That hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yay! Good job, buddy. You got this. All right, he rolls 8 damage. Nice work.
How does Luster want to do this?
All right, he's kind of growling because he's pretty upset. The last fight, the last guy's like, all right, I gotta do this. He's gonna actually jump at the back of his shell, and then manage to reach over and whatever tentacle thing is left, just like tug and pull on it until it
All
until
right.
it rips it in
So
half.
Maeve lets loose her 2 arrows, and Luster breathes up towards them, infusing them with lightning damage as they stick into the front of this thing. And then he's zipping along right behind them, and with just 1 tendril left, Luster latches onto it and starts to bite, chomp, pull, and tug. And unlike most of the other ones, which just sort of like fell off or just kind of crumpled up, as he pulls this one out and off, you watch as this long line, almost like a sinew or some sort of connective tissue, pulls and tugs out, and as it comes out of the place, it has dangling on the end of it a melon-sized brain, and this thing flumps down to the ground, and Luster returns to you, Maeve, tail wagging, holding a tendril with a brain on the end of it.
The hell of a hangnail.
Pat his head. Good boy. Now please drop it, please.
And
Oh, I hate that.
with that, Luster, the most effective hunter pet ever,
Yeah.
I love him so much.
battle seems to have ended as Zana calls back. The other one got away. Should I go after him?
No. No sense tracking through an area we don't know after him.
I just hope he doesn't get friends.
Well, if he does, he'll have quite a story to tell them about how Zana blew his brains out.
His friend's brains out? That's true.
Yeah.
Can I see if there's any valuables on the Duragard?
Make a
Maybe
perception.
like a note?
Make a perception check. Or investigation, sorry. Make an investigation.
Maeve is currently trying to clean and praise Luster at the same time. It is very hard to do both, because he's so excited.
Said investigation.
Yes, sir.
Dirty 20.
All right. So rifling through his pockets, you find on him he does have a war pick, as well as a javelin, an extra javelin. You find a sort of tinder box that has some tobacco in it, a few rolled cigarettes, but you also find something else strange and a bit disturbing. As you are kind of rifling through the insides of his jacket, he doesn't really have a shirt on, so as you open that up to reach inside, you see center on his chest an eye staring up at you.
Ew. Ew.
Like carved or tattooed?
An actual eye in his chest that's looking
Oh!
at you and
Oh.
and blinking as it stares at you, Leo.
Can I
Ah!
poke it?
Like with your finger?
Yeah, with my finger.
Yeah, you poke it, it kind of recoils and blinks a few times, then just kind of still looks at you.
What is that?
I
Gross.
don't know. But I thought this thing was dead.
The Duragar is dead.
There's something
Like
else.
it's
Maybe-
not like it's not breathing. The chest isn't moving. Just this eye is staring at you.
Maybe a bad time to remember that we are hunting something called the Plague of Eyes.
You
That's
guys
what I was thinking.
have seen this one other time when the just before the Dragonborn alchemist threw himself down that pit in his lair.
Yeah.
He had revealed on his chest a third eye.
Right, I forgot about that.
And
So
this thing is
supposed to be-
also, the eye isn't just like a normal eye size. This is like the size of your fist.
Oh.
Gross.
This is must be some symbol of those who follow this Plague of Eyes thing.
Or it uses them to watch us.
As you each
Probably
talk, like
destroy it.
anyone who got close enough to see it, as you talk, it looks towards each of you. Makes you think it can hear you.
Okay. Rosalind's go over and stab the eye.
Oh, jeez. Take the javelin, maybe.
Yeah, so you stick your sword into the eye, and it
No.
goes through and pull it out, and it's not moving anymore. But yeah, now you just have this caved-in, bisected eye.
Yeah, she twicks it off her sword. She winds up and hurls it over the wall. Like, nope, that's gross.
Please put
Your
that
sword, or you pulled the
No.
eye out as well?
No, she used it to fling she pulled the eye out
just
on the
like
end of the sword and then
viscous
flung it across the
fluid
wall.
and stuff
Yeah.
that's on it. Sure. Yeah.
She's like, no more.
Please put the shirt back on him so I don't have to see that.
There's no shirt to
Yeah,
put
but
back on him.
you just kind of
Turn around.
pull his jacket shut so you can't see the.
We flip him over so he's face down.
I was gonna say.
Just start stuffing him underneath the fucking slug.
Okay.
Clay
Well,
kind of looks at all of you and he's like, "Close, aren't we?"
yeah.
If that's
Probably,
any
yes.
case of what's happening, yeah.
We should keep moving. We should get there as quickly as we can. My brother might already be there. You don't have to come if you don't want to. If you want to rest, but I'm going.
Oh.
Well.
Ah,
certainly it's
hell.
a choice for us.
Rosalind sighs, and there's a look on her face for just a moment that makes you think she's thinking, "Just once, Rosalind, could you be a bitch? be a terrible person just once. God damn it." All right.
Could we maybe wait like an hour? Just like a quick rest?
Fine.
Did you do anything there, Kieran?
Got some HP loss.
In fact, we
I
will.
mean,
No, Leaf's not gonna use any more healing spells necessarily, but yeah. Whoops, killed Leaf.
Killed Leaf.
Yeah. Clay's like, fine. Catch your breath. Tend to your wounds, but we need to be fast.
All right.
We're almost there. I can sense it. I can feel it.
All right. Whatever you say, man.
So if you all want to take a quick short rest and potentially heal up using your hit dice, you may do so.
How does it work? So like with Luster, I don't think he has hit dice. But I guess I could resummon him. Does that work?
Yeah, you could do that. If there's no ruling on how you heal him outside of like using healing spells, yeah. You can resummon
Roz
him.
is gonna go, since she doesn't really need to rest or anything, she's gonna go climb up onto here and
Oh.
just kind of keep an eye out.
Sorry, he does have hit dice. I misread this. We're good.
There you
Never
go.
mind.
There you go. All right, cool. So, yep, you all take a quick, like, we'll say 30 seconds to sort of catch your breath, get things back up. Hermie, did you want to heal at all? You're down 8 right now.
Yeah, I'll do 1 hit dice.
Let me know what you roll. And Leaf's fine. He's only 4 away.
I rolled an 8.
Perfect. We're fully healed now.
Yay.
Okay, I had to use, unfortunately, 3 of Luster's hit dice because he has the same amount as me, but he is up to 26.
All right. So with that, as you also have tending to your wounds and catching your breath, you can tell that Clay is becoming very, very impatient. Zana seems to be standing near him, and you notice that she happens to have her hand on the butt of her gun. But eventually, when Roz gives the word, you all begin to walk in the direction that it's almost like Clay is drawn towards something. You can all feel it as well. This sense of being watched has just gotten worse and worse to where the hair on the back of your neck is constantly standing up on end. And you start to see that same eye carved into some of these trees, into various things of these sort of dwarven structures. You start to see signs of it left and right. And eventually, everything begins to clear away. Fungus, these tree-like things are gone. Ruins are gone, and you see about 50 yards ahead of you a lip that almost looks like the terrain dips down. As you get closer and look down this terrain, about 50, 60 feet down, you see this large dome structure. It's made of the earth of rock, but it looks too constructed, too perfect to be natural. Clay begins to head down without a second thought, without saying it to anyone.
I don't like this.
Yeah, Rosalind casts a glance at Zana as he just starts going.
Shoot him?
No, I want your
No.
thoughts. She
Beat us
she
if we
points
don't hurry up, and she goes down after him.
All right, Rosalind starts sliding down.
Same.
And as you all slide down, you hit sort of the edge of it, and he begins to walk around. And you notice now on this dome, when you look really closely, there are small inscriptions. Nothing that any of you can read. You recognize it as runes, as magical. It's not quite a language, so it's nothing that you can read. But eventually, following around, he comes to... It's already opened. And as you get around towards it, you see there was some sort of door that has been opened. It's about 10 feet wide. Walks inside. Do you all enter?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ditch him now.
As you walk inside, you see several large statues of varying figures, people, features, you're not sure. But all of them have their eyes missing. They've been gouged out in some way. There's a large pit in the center that as you walk in, he's sort of standing near and looking into it. Round.
Rosalind's gonna kind of take a look around as she enters in, see if there's anything waiting to jump out at her.
Like to take a look.
You begin to make your way around the inside of this structure, which is maybe 50, 60 feet wide in all directions. Clay just stands there motionless, the center looking down into this empty pit.
See something, Clay?
Not true. Nothing here. This was all for nothing. Falls to his. She's just
Hey,
gone,
Clay.
isn't she? She's just
Another-
gone, and I have to accept that. He looks towards Hermia. I don't think I can do it. I can't go on without her. If there's no way to find her, there's one way.
No. Don't go that route.
He takes his bag off, throws it towards you, mate. The heart is in there. You can do what you want with the Luxon. And he takes his dagger out and goes to plunge it into his chest.
All right. Yeah, Rosalind's gonna try to jump and catch him.
Go ahead and make a dexterity. Anyone who wants to. Anyone who sees this happening and wants to try it. Let's just go ahead really quick and roll some initiative here.
Okay. Initiative first.
So is
Yep.
Clay, I missed this and I apologize. Is Clay the one that was saying all this?
Yes.
Oh boy, okay.
All right,
We've been
so
had.
We've been had.
Roz is trying to stop him.
Uh-huh.
I'll try to stop him too. Oh, I rolled a 10, so never mind.
All right. Nat 20 for a 21. Thank you. Advantage on initiative.
Love how Clay rolled high now.
Yeah, figures.
Figures.
So,
I rolled another natural 20, though.
all right, so Leo, you also notice this happening as well. Hermie, you're probably the closest person to him. Did you want to try and intercede in any way either?
Hermia's kind of like in shock.
That's fine.
Like
if
she's kind of like piecing, like she finally like gets it. Like it's like, you know, like oh, and yeah, she's just like kind of like in shock.
That's
like,
fine. Yeah.
what-
So Hermie just kind of stands there, just completely frozen in shock. Rosalind, you are able to move quick enough. He does, unfortunately, as he's sort of plunging it towards his chest. You get there in time to kind of grab him. It's not enough to completely stop him, but he does embed the dagger into himself, but unfortunately did miss his heart. So you are able to sort of wrench it away from him as he's just like begins to just break down and is just scrambling for it as you try to hold him down. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Me?
Well, since since all three of you are probably helping now, we'll say you guys are able to kind of hold him down, no problem. Rosalind, if you wanted to potentially throw any sort of healing stuff into him, it was it doesn't seem like a fatal or a grave wound, but he found, you know, some decent purchase with it. We'll say
How much lay of hands does he need?
We'll say give him 5, and it
all
seems to undo the damage. And it's like a 180 has been spun this whole time that you've been with him. You know, seeing this character, you know, this drow of not necessarily unmatched, but just what you're compared to. He was very put together. He had this sort of regality to him, this focus to him, and now he's in pain, both physical and emotional, as he's being forced to confront something that he's probably spent years trying to deny or run away from, as he's just like crying and reaching for the dagger that he just wants to see her again. And
I
by
kicked
now,
my knife away.
all of you realize that Clay doesn't have a brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Roz is gonna just hold him as much as still as she can. Like, Clay, I know. This isn't the way. That's not what she'd want.
We always said that we would find one another again. You don't know me. You don't know her. This is the only way to be reunited with her. This is my
We're not gonna-
choice. Plague of eyes. All seeing, whatever it is, he doesn't exist. Leo, I want you to make a perception or survival check.
Is the outcome the same either way?
Yeah, just whichever one you want.
$19, so I'm gonna go with perception plus 8.
Okay. As all this is happening and you're kind of taking in the surroundings as well, you start to notice. Well, first of all, this wouldn't have been something you didn't do.
Yeah.
But you can tell by the door, the way that it opened, the disturbed soil around where it sort of was pushed into. It's hard to tell for sure, but in your years having to track people down and sometimes find clues when you are days, weeks, months behind someone, something was here. Someone had to open this, and just judging from the way that some of the soil is disturbed, and with a high enough perception, you do actually find on the outside and just kind of coming in that there are footprints. What seems to be probably, you reckon, maybe just a single person. That somebody was here maybe probably a month or more ago. Probably longer. I mean, it's hard to tell at that point, but somebody was here and it was within the past.
Roz is still holding him and is just like, hey, I don't know you and I don't know her, but I know what it is to lose somebody. It hurts.
Play. When did you come here first?
Now, with all of you. I wouldn't have been able to make it on my own. I can see that now.
Then why are there these tracks here? And I point out everything. You weren't the first one here then.
Not to mention those Dwergers have an eye in their center of their chest.
Has to be
Something's here. Or
something,
was.
or something was taken.
So do you really have a brother? Or not?
Oh,
No. It was a lie, so you didn't take me back to the Cerberus Assembly. I wanted to come here. I was going to give the heart to the eyes and have him tell me where she is. If she was alive or not. My last chance. Divination magic has failed.
Well then, someone unleashed the Plague of Eyes. Or what, like his resting place?
Rosalind speaks up then. The alchemist that we fought, he had that eyeball on his chest too.
Yeah, as did that other dwarf we saw. There's obviously a cult that's well and alive.
Whatever was trapped in here is out there somewhere.
Apparently. And it looks like it's making all these Jurgar have those weird eyes. It's getting kind of weird.
Dangerous.
And if we're bringing the artifact that, I don't know, enhances that power, probably not a good idea, Clay. So kind of nice of you to bring us down here to hand over the artifact to your Lord and Savior from whatever we know.
Kill me then.
We're not that type of group.
I can't go back.
You've said that before. You said that you betrayed, that they would mark you traitor.
We're leaving, yes.
But you got the Luxon now.
I want to live a life without her.
Rosalind kind of frowns. On some level, she gets that.
As this conversation happening, Clay lied to you, used you to get here, that whatever was imprisoned here has already been unleashed. Who knows how long? A red glow begins to emanate across this chamber, this room.
Oh no.
As you hear a crack and see telltale and familiar sign of a portal begin to appear and materialize on the far side of the chamber. That's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh god, I should have insisted that we take a long rest. I have no spells. I have 2 spells left.